Hey guys, welcome to another Pokemon video. It's eSprout here.
And Swim Shady.
This is going to be our first combined video, and I really hope you guys like it.
This will technically be a top 10 countdown of our favorite Pokemon games, but I'll be saying my top 5 and eSprout will be saying her top 5. We may, or may not, comment on each other's choices if we have played the game before.
This is going to be our top 10 favorite Pokemon games of all times. Please note this is purely our opinion, and if you have a different one, I'd love to hear it in the comments below.
Now let's get this countdown started. Number 5.
Taking the number 5 spot for me is Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Gates to Infinity. This is better than the other Mystery Dungeon games in my opinion, just because of the graphics and the storyline that goes with it. Another thing I like is how if you choose not to do the task, you can also do stuff around the town and help villagers. With so many mystery dungeons to explore and every single one being new, and the great graphics to go along, it really brings this game alive and I really like it. I also like how you get to pick who you are and who your friend is out of Tepig, Snivy, Pikachu, Oshawott, or Axew, and also you get to bring more than one friend along. It's really cool.
My top 5 is Pokemon Emerald version. I like it because of its predecessors, the former games, Sapphire and Ruby, and how this one puts a new spin on the adventure through Hoenn. In this one, you get to play as Brandon, or May, as you adventure through the region to try to stop Team Aqua and Magma from awakening both. Unfortunately, you don't succeed, and when they awake both Groudon and Kyogre, you have to adventure off and get Rayquaza to stop both of them.
Number 4. Taking the number 4 spot is Pokemon Black. The reason I really like Pokemon Black is the new set of Pokemon that was given and the new partners that were there, Tepig, Snivy, and Oshawott. I also like the really cool storyline that plays in with it, how you got your legendary after the 8th gym, and you have to fight a trainer with the legendary just to get it. I also really like the characters that they threw in there, and Team Plasma, your rivals, and especially you.
Taking my number 4 spot is Pokemon Black 2. This game takes place 2 years after the adventures in Black, or White, depending on which game you got. Anyways, in this game, you are a boy named Nate, or a girl named Rose, traveling along, trying to figure out this new and different version of Unova. Along the way, you meet your rival Hugh, and I have to say, he was special. He had his own story and why he was in the game. In this game, Team Plasma is back, and they're trying to take over the Pokemon. But this time, instead of Zekrom and Reshiram, they're after Kyurem. That's Pokemon you could have caught in Black 2, but never really knew why. And this story gives the background of Kyurem and how he is connected to the others. Overall, I thought the gameplay was very good, and I enjoyed it very much, with all the legendaries they put in, and with the different kind of Pokemon that they added from other regions.
Number 3. Taking my number 3 spot is Pokepark Wii Pikachu's Adventures. The reason I love the game so much is because it was my first Pokemon game I ever got. I really enjoyed it, and it really started my love for Pokemon. There were many things you could do in it, such as battling, quizzes, hide and seek, and tag depending on the Pokemon you ask. The story in the game is that there's something called a Prism Tower in Pokepark, which makes everybody nicer and everybody more happy. It restores order there. But something happened and now it's scattered all throughout Pokepark. You have to help Mew go and find everyone. To do this, you have to make many friends and battle many attractions that will give you Prism pieces. Once after, you go to Mew and battle him for the last time, and then you and all your friends save Pokepark. But there's much to do after the game too, and I think it's a really cool game. And I still enjoy the game to this day.
Taking my number 2 spot is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness for the GameCube. In this game, you play as the main protagonist Mitchell as he takes off to this new adventure in the Aura region. This game takes place a few years after its predecessor, Colosseum. Mitchell is just your regular old science professor's helper. along with his trusty Eevee. Unfortunately for Mitchell, things don't go as planned, as he's thrown into the world alongside his trusty Eevee. The main problem is that these shadow Pokemon have reappeared, and Mitchell is entrusted with the Snagger machine to help save everyone. Along the way, he's helped by an old man named Eldis, but what I really like is how they threw in Merriby, one of the old lieutenants of the Cyphers in the last game.
Number 2. Taking my number 2 spot is Pokemon Ranger Shadows of Alma. Sorry if I pronounced that wrong. In the game, you play as Keelan or Kate as you go through Ranger School and try to make your way to a top Ranger. You make lots of friends along the way that helps you, from your friends from the old Ranger School to the friends that you make through the game. I really enjoy this game. The styler capture is really cool. You circle the Pokemon as its friendship bar goes up. Also, your friends will always have your back no matter what. But there's a new group of bad guys called Team Din Sun. They're trying to put lots of Pokemon under their control and their evil control. But never to fear, you always have your little Pokemon partners that you can always count on, even though you can only take one at a time.
My number 2 game is Pokemon Platinum. Pokemon Platinum is again another sequel to the game Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. In this game, you get to play as Lucis with your rival Barry, instead of Dawn this time, which was a kind of switch up. In this game anyways, Team Galactic is once again back. And this time, unlike all the other teams, they think that if they do the exact same thing, it will work. Well, a certain legendary Pokemon named Giratina doesn't really think so. So he decides to take things into his own hands and stop Team Galactic. But unfortunately, he takes the chief, and you, being the good person in this, you have to go save the main bad guy of Team Galactic. But, I mean, it's not so bad. You get to catch Giratina, so it's a win-win for everyone. Anyways, I really enjoyed this game and all the legendaries and the new twists on the Sinnoh game they put. It was really interesting to me.
Number 1. Taking the number 1 spot is Pokemon X. In this game, you can be Serena or Callum, and your starter choices are Fennekin, Chespin, or Froakie. But you're not alone in this world of Pokemon. Your friends are Tiero, Trevor, and Shauna, and your main rival is Serena or Callum, depending on who you picked in the beginning of the game. If you pick Callum, your rival would be Serena, and if you pick Serena, your rival would be Callum. Uncover the mystery as you travel through the beautiful region of Kalos, and collect all 8 gym badges to one day become the champion. Graphics in this game is unbelievable compared to our other Pokemon games, and even some of the parts can be in 3D. I personally don't like the mode, but it's still cool to have it. Not to mention that we're one step closer in having a journey with our friends. With the general trade system, you can trade, battle, and share videos with all your friends. But of course, there's a main villain team called Team Flare, who's out for world peace, I guess? But does this really look like peace? But the coolest thing of all is the new Mega Evolution, which can make you unstoppable if you use it right. But that's just the way me and my Mega Mewtwo like it.
And finally, my number 1 game is Pokemon Rangers Guardian Signs. Anyways, in this game, you get to play as either Ben or Summer, 2 top rangers, who are sent to the Oblivion region to handle some disturbance, I believe. Anyways, you quickly find out that this disturbance is actually a new team called the Pokemon Pinchers. They are stealing Pokemon, and then you have to stop them by catching their Pokemon that will then release them. Anyways, once you start, it actually turns into a lot more than you thought. So you start off by losing your partner in the sky, then you drop onto a deserted island, where you have to go around trying to stop the Pinchers before they take over the whole island, which of course is impossible. You then go off to an entire adventure, but first you have your trusty ukulele Pichu, which is a Pichu that plays ukulele, which actually helps a lot in the game. Didn't think so either, but it did. Anyways, the coolest part about this game is after you capture certain legendaries, you can summon them and they'll help you through the game. But the pinchers aren't done yet. They have lieutenants, and each of the lieutenants have their own little entrance and fight, and a lot of them are tough to beat. The gameplay is really cool. The ukulele Pichu helps, and it's actually just a fun, enjoyable game. It's also the first Ranger game I got 100% on, which was not easy.
Well, there you have it. That was our top 10 favorite Pokemon games of all times.
Make sure to comment and like in the video description, and make sure to subscribe too. Thanks. Bye.
See you next time.